Hi there, Karen Greenhouse, and this is just a kind of a fun application activity that has to do with linear equations and kind of exploring some real-world things and challenging students to figure things out on their own. So this first activity basically, again, I'm using ClassPad.net, and it's a free link, and I've enclosed the link in the description of the video, and it's also on my blog post. If you want to save the activity once you put it in your URL, make sure you have an account on ClassPad. It's free, and you simply duplicate, and then you have a copy in your own papers. But the activity here, I've used the ability to embed pictures, and so I have two different pictures, and it's basically, can students find lines in real objects and use what they understand about how you use points to find the lines of equations, and they're basically going to move these points to locations where they think they have a line. So I'm just going to randomly pick a line here. I could use all the points. It depends how much. I only really need 2 points, but if I'm trying to be exact, so I would line up the points. Notice how when I click the points, the point values come up, and I can also see them down here in the chart as I move the points. So now once the students have lined up the points on a line they think exists, they are now going to try and write the equation to fit those points. And so that would entail, do you understand that you have to find the slope? So pick 2 of those points and calculate the slope. And then you can do point slope form, pick another point, use that in your point slope form, or you could calculate the standard form of the equation, however they want to work with it. And this sort of asks them which form did you choose and why. So it's having them think about that. So that's the first activity. So there's 2 different pictures here, and they can, if you look at the pictures, there's lots of different lines that they could choose, so they could practice and do it again on different lines within each picture. So that's just practicing looking for lines and then writing an equation to fit the points that you've put on a line. So then the second equation is an actual situation where we have, an application where she's burning calories. I just picked one that makes sense to most students. They all tend to work out, they go to the gym, they understand that you lose calories. And so I have this situation where she's riding her bike, and then she's going to run on the treadmill. So she burns a certain number of calories when she rides her bike, and then a certain number per minute when she's on the treadmill. So I've put an equation in that represents the situation, and then it's just a bunch of questions about this equation and what does this point on the line represent in context. And then I have them, what happens if she doesn't ride her bike? How does that change the equation? So they're going to write a new equation. And what if she doesn't do the treadmill? She works on weights instead. So they're basically taking some real life examples and writing equations and then answering questions about them. And then the last thing is, so you've sort of had some experience with some real world applications. Go find something in your own life that you could write a linear equation about. I've given them some ideas, but it's really kind of, do they understand that a linear relationship is this rate, constant rate, plus an additional, so like the cost of pizza, it's $9.95 for a medium plus $1.25 for each topping. So that might be a linear relationship they might explore. So this is just a challenge for them to go out into their own world and try and find something that they could then graph and talk about. So this is just for them to explore, have fun using it. And again, if you want to change it, modify it, add to it, just create your account in ClassPad and duplicate it. Have fun.